living in a car full time. I live full time in my Jeep Renegade. No air conditioning and no heat. How do you survive? Very easy. Let me tell you something. Last night it was about 40 degrees or so. Bundled up. It's totally fine. And it's not even close to winter yet. But what I want to share with you is when I had a condo and when I grew up, there were summers that I had no air conditioning in a house. You haven't felt heat until you've been on a second floor condo with no air conditioner, with no AC. Sleeping at ground level in a car is a breeze compared to that. Some people, they may have been in air conditioning all their life. They've never maybe spent a summer without air conditioner in their house. So they don't understand, oh my God, how can you do it? How can you do it? You know, I get questions, oh, you should get a travel trailer because then you can get air conditioning. Yeah, I understand it's a convenience. But I've done it before in a house with a full summers with no AC. In second floor condos. Hot as hell. And I made it through. I've been at basement levels in the winter with no heat, bundled up in a house for multiple winters. Was fine. So it's not the end of the world. A lot of people out there, prima donnas, and a lot of people out there, they have travel trailers, so they want to guilt trip me into, you need to get a travel trailer because of this. And they want to guilt trip me, oh, you have a house, you need to get, don't guilt trip me, B. All right? I don't want a travel trailer. And if you want it, I've said it multiple times. Do you? I'm only giving my perspective. I want to be very clear. I've made a whole video to it. If you're elderly, if you're not in physical condition, if you have some type of disability, you should not be living in your car. I've also said on multiple occasions, if you don't want to, you shouldn't. You should do you. And I've also said that if something changes in my life and I want to switch and buy a travel trailer, I would. But right now, there's no need to. And I don't need a guilt trip on why not to. No AC is no problem. Have you ever survived in a multi-story building without air conditioning? Have you ever spent a couple summers like that? I have. And let me tell you something. It's cooler in the ground level in a car than it is in a multi-story unit on the second floor or whatever with no heat. It's hot as hell up there because heat rises. Same thing in the winter. Have you ever been in a house in the winter down by the basement and there's no heat? Oh, it's warmer in a small car. Especially, and remember, if you ever need to turn the car on intermittently throughout the night, it's an engine, it's a generator, and you need to pump some heat or pump some cold air and then shut it off and let the car get conditioned to a certain point and then shut it back down. I've never had to do that, but you can. So I want to be clear. People are trying to sell you on a travel trailer just because they want you to be in the same position they are. Or they can't accept any other perspective. I'm only giving my perspective. I'm not saying my perspective is for you. And I understand that people I'm talking to is probably about this small in society. Single people with no family, with no pets, they don't need extra stuff. So I want to be clear, like I've said in other videos, if you have pets, if you have family, if you have disability, you should be in the other section. You need air conditioning. You shouldn't be living out of a car if you can help it. But as far as it's easy, not easy, but it's not an issue. It's not an issue. Did a summer, second floor condo, hot as hell, sweating my balls off. Did a summer in the car. Let me show you what I got. This fan right here. Do you right. O2 fan, 4D batteries on the bottom. $19.99 at, I don't know where I bought this at, Bed Bath & Beyond or something. That's it. 2 speeds. Whole thing blowing up my butt. Keep me cool at night. In the winter, what do you do? Bro, blankets. Multiple blankets and layers. That's it. It's not rocket science. But people have been conditioned so much, as far as mentally conditioned, that you need this and this and that people forgot. For the majority of years that this earth has existed, people did without AC and heat. They did without air conditioning and heating. You know what I mean? It's not like, again, if you're in an extreme environment, it's all relative. And finally, I'll sum up on this. Like I've said, if you really need to, you can go to a hotel. You can go to a friend's or family house. You are not stuck. Flexibility is your option. So I am putting to bed, you do not need air conditioning, you do not need heat. You have various different options depending on your personal circumstance. But it can be done, and it has been done for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. Only in the past 100 years has really these amenities become available, and everybody bought. And now if you don't buy, guilt. Bro, easy. All right, do you, I'm going to do me, respect and love. Stay inspired.